So this is our session 4. Today we will be learning about the string functions and conditional statements. In our starting first and second lecture, we learn how we can use string, and we learn a little bit about indexing in string. And we also explore if else condition of conditional statement in lecture 2, I believe. But in this lecture, we will be digger deeper into that. And I'm going to start this lecture now. So what does a string, what, what kind of functionality does a string have? So a string is a data type that stores a sequence of characters. So that means that a string store characters in a sequence. And if you want to access any of the character, you can just use the index of that string and you will be able to find that character. So now we are going to discuss some basic operations. First operation is concatenation. We can perform concatenation in this string by just using plus operator between them. So by using just plus operator between two strings, you can concatenate that two strings together. Also, if you want to find out the length of that string, you can use len function for that. To demonstrate you this, I'm going to code for you. And for that purpose, first let me clear my screen. I have to clear all my drawings. Okay, so now I can remove it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to declare two strings. First can be my first name, which is Tanish, and the last name, which you can call Kumar. So let's say I want to append both of these, first name and last name together. Because we have the functionality of these strings, we can simply use both of these names and using plus between them. And then I can call it name, and then I'm going to print it to show you the results. So this is Tanish Kumar, okay? But there is no space between Kumar. So there is one more thing which we can do. Either we can add space after Tanish or at the start of K. Both of this scenario will work here. But what simply we will do, we will simply add one more string with spaces, and then we will use one more plus operator here for concatenation. This is in the string format, this is in the string format, and the space is also in string format. So all of the three will merge together and will give us Danish command name. It's simple as that. Now let's say we want to print the length of the name. We can simply use length. Here it is. Okay, so it counts to 12. So Danish length is 6, Kumar length is 5. It should be 11, but it is giving us 12. The reason for that is it also counts space as a 1 of length. So space is also our example of length. Okay, now let's jump to another slide. So now we are going to discuss about indexing. So let's say we example of a string which is tag Tanish. Our indexing always start from 0 and then it goes to till the last element. And we just using the string, and we already discussed that T is 0th index, E is 1th index, and that's what we have written here. Okay. Remember one thing, string is immutable. You cannot change the variable of this string. So here we have first name, like we want to update first name, last. You let's say you want to update starting index 0. You want to convert Tanish into Danish. You use 0 index and then you use D here. Do you think this will work? I don't think so. Let's run this code. What does it do? It gives us the error. And the error is type error. String doesn't support item assignment. That means that once you initialize or declare the string You cannot change the value of that string in the letter in the code. If you want to update it, then you have to do it here. Okay. So this will not work here. And we already know the how the indexing works. So let's say I only want to print from T to N. I can simply use indexing here. First name. I have to start from zero because T at zero, and I want to print it till 9. So T zero, A1 and 2. So I am going to use 2 here. But remember one thing, the ending index of the slicing is exclusive. That means that 2 will not be a part of our answer. So to include 2 element also till n, we have to use 3 here because last element is exclusive. So now here we have Tn. I believe that's clear for your end. Now let's jump to another slide. Here is another slide. We are discussing slicing. Okay, so I'm just going to use pointer here so that you can understand it. So here this is the starting index, and we already know this is the ending index. We are declaring one string which is Apna Pakistan, and then we are just performing slicing operations. In this thing, we want to start from first index and end before fourth index. And before fourth index means first index, second index, and third index. We will not be getting fourth index value. So in this Apna Pakistan, P is at first index and N is at second and A is at third index. So it will print P and N. That's our required. So now in the second attempt, we have, we have used nothing at this start. So by default, it will be starting at zeroth index and we want to end it at fourth index. Same is the case in the above. So it will result us starting from A till A because zeroth index, first index, second index, third index. It will stop before fourth index. So that will work. Now we are using this. We want to start from first index and then uh, take the whole string. So it will print P and then N. It will print all of this string. Okay. So this is also similar like this because we want to take element till the length of our string. Okay, so I'm going to clear this up because it's hard to see things clearly. Okay. Now I'm going to, okay, now negative slicing. In previous slides, we discussed how we can perform indexing, but there's also another way or another way to perform indexing. In Python, it gives us the feasibility to perform indexing using negative signs with that. How does negative indexing work? Negative indexing starts from end. This -1, -2, -2, 3, -4, -5. From the end to the start. Let's say we have a string April and we want to print only PL. So this P is -1, L is -2, and P is -3. So we want to start from -3. So that will be -3. And we want to stop at L. But we know that the last index, ending index is exclusive. So we have to use one index after that. So after L, we have E. So we will be using index of E, which is -1 because this last index is always -1. Last variable of this string, it will be -1 and it will print us BL. Now we have some function of a string which which we are going to use. I'm just going to copy these all functions because it takes a lot of time to write all of these functions by another not copy. Okay, I'm just going to write it. I'm going to comment this code. And I'm going to declare another string. This is going to be this. This is our fourth lecture. Now I'm going to use these functions one by one. For first function, what we have ends with. Let's say I'm checking if our sentence ends with RE or not. Let's say I'm going to use only E. Because we want to see if our string is correct or not. If that's the case, it will return true to us. Here we have two. Let's say I want to check if our sentence ends with R, but our sentence doesn't end with R, so it will return false instead of true. And similarly, we have capitalize function here. Do you think this will change our result? Because we already have T is capitalized. So I'm going to change it, then I'm going to run it. You see the T is converted into capital T. Okay. After that, we have replaced and find function. What I want to replace? I want to replace T with capital T. So you see that all our T has been converted into T. But remember, this is only perform. This operation is performed only in place, not in memory. So when you try to print your string again, your string is similar to this string. Okay, so it has not updated in memory object. Okay, you can see the difference here. And similarly, you can use find function to find any word, any element if you are looking for that, and it will return the first index, first founding index of that element. Also, we have count function. What does count function do is count the occurrence of that element or of that specific word. You can try this function at your end. I'm just going to move forward. Okay, so we are just going to practice, right? In this question, we have to, what we have to write for user's first name and print this length. We already discussed how we can find out the length of that. You should try this at your end. And after that, we have to find the occurrence of three in a string. So I'm going to explain this to you. Let's say I'm declaring another string which is saying that Danish 3350. And I want to count this occurrence of that three here. So I'm going to count. I'm going to write it. Okay, so it's just a one. Let's say I change 5 into 3. You can see its occurrence increased by 2. Let's say you're trying to find the 4 element in this thing, but 4 doesn't exist, so it will give us 0. And it's similar to this find occurrence of the string. After that, we have conditional statements. So we are done with string and string functions and string functionality. These are some of the most important concepts which we should know. And these are the things which we will be frequently using during our data analysis, during our machine learning training also. After that, we have if else conditions. So in other programming language, well, someone use if, else, if, and other cases as switch cases. But here we measure most of the time we are using either if, else, or you can say else. So I'm just going to create one scenario in which, okay, so let's say you want, let's take an example. You want to drive a car, but above 18 are eligible and also above 80 are not eligible. Let's say we are just going to discuss one simple case. You want to drive a car, but above 18 are not eligible. Above 18 are eligible. Yeah, that's correct. So I'm just going to take input, enter your age, simple as that. And I'm going to store it. Then I'm going to start comparison. If age is less than 18, remember one thing, input always takes in the form of string. So we want to compare in the form of integer. So I'm just going to convert this into int. If int age is less than 18, then I'm going to print it not eligible. Otherwise, else I'm going to say it's eligible. Let's run it. I'm going to enter it 5, not eligible. That means our code is working correctly. Let's say I want to get 19. It's eligible now. Okay. So let's say I'm going to run 18. Do you think it will return eligible or not eligible? Eligible, simple as that. Because we are only comparing less than 18. So that's how this if else between works. So here we have another example. Grade student based on marks. If marks is greater than 90, then we want to grade A. Marks is less than between. Let's write this. I'm going to write this code for you. Let's say input, enter your mark in percentage for the clarity purposes. Marks, and now we are going to use if else if mark is like greater than 90, we have to convert this into int. We can either change this into below lines or up in above. Using int in this line, our code will reduce. Also, using int with every marks variable is repetitive. If marks is greater than 90, then what I have to do, I have to print. Oh, sorry, I want to update grade into A grade. Let's say L is 80, okay, 90. Did you understand what I did? I just say if marks is greater than 19, then grade is A. If marks is greater than, if marks is, should be less than, it should be less than 90 and marks are less than and equals to 80, then it will be grade B. Otherwise, what we want to do? We want to assign grade C. Okay, now let's run this. We also want to print our grade. Let's run this. So let's say I got 60% marks. Our grade is B. That's not working correctly. That means what should be okay, so greater than it should be greater. Okay, that's why it is. This is 60. It should be grade C. So here we have grade C. Let's say I'm going to run it again 90. It's some error, I believe. Let me see it again. If marks is greater than, so I entered 90 and I 90 should work now. I think I understand the concept. So I give this the line, that's why it gives type error. So it returns A now. Let's say I'm going to enter 85 here. So B. Yeah, that's working correctly now. Let's jump to another topic. So now we have some questions which we can do to check our logic. In first question, we have to compare if number is odd or even. And for that purpose, we just have to take input even or let's say just give a number input enter your what was the enter your number simple as that. Now we have to convert it into int because we want to compare it So to check either the number is even or odd, we have one simple condition. If number modulus 2 is equals to 0, that means number is odd. So we will print simply even, else print odd. So now, yeah, enter number, let's say 5. This is odd, 5, 5 is odd, 2 entered, 2 is even. Okay, that was simple, really easy. Similarly, if you want to check the 7 is a multiple or 7 is a multiple or not, what are the multiples of 7? Did you remember that multiples of 7 are 7, 49, 14, 21, 28, 35? Are you noticing one pattern here that every number is divisible by 7? So by using number modulus 7 is equals to 0, you can do this task easily. So in another task, what we have to do, we have to find the greatest of three numbers entered by the user. That means we have given three numbers and we have to find the number which is greatest among all of them. So for that reason, I'm just going to copy it because I'm tired of rewriting each line separately. So I'm going to say first number, second number, third number. Now we have to draw comparison between them, which is the largest number. Let's consider our cases. Let's first do this condition. If first number is greater than second number and first number is greater than third number. So in that case, we'll print first first number, first one is greater, easy. Why is that? Because if first number is greater than second number and also greater than third number, that means first number is bigger. Now let's say we have to use Alice here. Let's say the above condition is not true. That means either second number is greater or third number is greater. So we will simply compare second number with third number. Sec Second number is greater. Now, if both of these cases are not true, that means third one, third one is greater. Okay, so let me end this. I'm going to enter first 10, 20, 30. Enter your number. Yeah, I have to end it. So let's 10, 20, 30. Third one is greater. So our S condition is running correctly. Let's say I'm going to enter 100, 50, 25. First one is greater. Now let's check our last case. 50, 100, 25. Second number is greater. That means our code is working correctly. And that was it from our lecture 4. And we covered some basic concepts, but it was really important to understand these things. And I'm going to meet you in the next lecture 5, where we will be discussing different topics. Bye bye. See you soon.